Welcome to Therapy Tuesday with Dr. Geraldine Tan from the Therapy Room. A very good morning to you, Jerry.
Good morning. I dropped my pen. I saw all of you heard it.
We did. Us and the rest of Singapore. That's okay.
We were like, who's that? Who's that? Who was that?
That's all right, Dr. Jerry. We like you, so you're forgiven.
Oh, thank you.
So today we're going to be talking about relationships, sustaining relationships.
Yeah, because it was so interesting during this period of time. I had older couples coming in for couples counseling, and we were talking about 60, 70-year-olds coming in for counseling. So I thought it was really interesting to know that they're so open in trying to deal with the issues and fix their relationships. So I thought I would share it with everyone.
I think it's really important because at 60, you look at each other and you go, what the hell do I do with this one?
Oh dear. Oh my goodness.
Has this thought crossed your mind a few times?
Clearly, that's why he brought it up.
I wouldn't say, what do I do with this one? But how do you keep it
Fresh.
How do you keep it exciting?
Relationships are a pain in the ass.
They are very difficult.
It's so hard.
Dr. Jerry, I want to ask you, these couples that come in, are they on the brink of not being able to get along with each other, or they're just looking for some advice on how to refresh that relationship?
So many of them want to work things out. They're very disgruntled, and they, the word divorce doesn't really roll off their lips very easily. So I mean, kudos to all of them, right? They're not like the young ones and who say that, oh, let's try. If not, there's always a way out of divorce. So they hold the constitution of marriage very closely, the older ones, but they're very unhappy. So that's why they come forward and seek help.
Okay, so they stick around because they believe a marriage has to be worked out and you have to be together forever and ever because you made a vow.
But that is something you should go into a marriage with, isn't it?
People change.
Yeah, they do.
After 40 years.
People grow in different directions, right? I mean, people eventually they want different goals, they want different things in life.
Were we not prepared when we got into the marriage that people change?
I suppose you are prepared, but then you hope that you're changing together. Do you know what I mean? You're changing to want similar things at least, not like completely different things. But it does happen.
Yeah, you just hope.
Yeah,
One
you just
side
hope,
always
yeah.
makes a bigger sacrifice.
No, I agree.
You know what I
yes,
mean?
yes, totally agree.
Yeah. Look at FD.
Then-
Look at him.
I'm thinking.
It's like,
I'm
no,
thinking.
I have
That's a-
not sacrificed.
That's a smug
No, I
face
have.
right there.
You have, right?
No, I have. I
Yeah.
have sacrificed
And
a
that's the
lot.
problem, son. How much of...
But
Yeah,
my wife has sacrificed far much more than I have.
okay.
Far much more.
This is what I mean, you see. And some couples, right, when they go into marriage, they feel like, okay, no one needs to make a sacrifice. We can just be ourselves, And then years later, or maybe a year later,
Yeah.
they start to
Later.
feel like, okay, maybe this is not what I really want.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Dr. Jerry?
It's interesting. So I'm hearing the words, and by the way, this topic is for all of you to discuss. So I speak less today. And all
Don't give us the chance to, because we'll
Wow.
just take over the whole show.
No, but I'm hearing the words here, right? So besides change, we look at expectations that you were talking about, what we expect of the other person, and we think that if they don't meet our expectations, we should sacrifice. And what FD said, my wife sacrificed more. Are we keeping score?
Yeah, exactly. Does it matter?
Okay, Jerry, I have to say I'm not keeping score. It is a realization because I met a woman, we fell in love. She gave up her career for my family, and that's what I mean by she sacrificed more.
Yeah, but there's so many women who do that.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's a massive sacrifice. It is massive. Do the men realize it? Or is it, She's there. She's the mother of my
And she's
children.
meant
blah,
to
blah.
do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if I were a woman, and my husband is going to support me, I would do the same thing. What?
But a lot of women
I don't want to go to
also-
work. I just want to stay at home and
Different
chill out.
personality.
Yeah, but a lot of
just
but as much as there are a lot of women who don't mind being homemakers and and bringing up the children and cleaning house and all that, there is an equal amount of women who also feel like they shouldn't have to sacrifice
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
career for a marriage,
right.
with or without children.
And let's not
you know?
forget some men who become
house
husbands.
husbands. Yes,
as
absolutely,
well.
absolutely. Works
Yeah.
both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I think if we start looking at what each one is doing, both have equal sacrifices. So many of the men would say that I go out there, I ensure that I put food on the table. I don't like to travel, but I have to do like 3 times, a month or every week I need to travel. It takes a toll on me. Don't you think that I am sacrificing too? So that's why we become very cautious when we hear each other point out what we have done or what the other person have done.
I like your point earlier about the keeping score though. No, I like your comment about the keeping score though, because a lot of people do that. They're like, oh, but I've done this, and then I've done this, and they almost expect the person to say thank you. Because it's what are you looking for? Gratitude? It's like
Okay, let's continue to talk to Jerry on The Big Show TV. In the meantime, here's John Farnham and Human Nature. Every time you cry on one.
I think any couple that keeps score is on the wrong foot anyway. The sacrifice that each partner makes in the relationship is something you realize. You don't have to bring it up. It's just there. You know it. You recognize it. You don't have
Yeah,
to.
but you see, you don't realize it, but you are keeping score as well.
yes, that's true.
You know what
Why-
I mean?
why
You
am I-
are.
why am I
no, because
keeping
you're
score?
you're
Recognizing what Michelle did.
what Michelle
Yes.
has done. So
That's not keeping score.
It is.
No.
It's keeping score in the
Keeping
reverse.
score is, you gave up so much and I gave up so much. And then, but I gave up more than you. That's keeping
yeah, but
score.
when you have an argument, deep down inside you are thinking about all
Oh,
that.
but she's done so much for me, and I haven't done as much. Yeah, no, it's true.
No.
It is like I feel it's a
Yes.
kind of a reverse way of
Or
keeping
maybe
score.
we don't say keeping score. So
Yeah.
like the Bible says, keep record of wrong, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're keeping records of their wrong.
Right, they're right.
Yeah.
They're right.
Right.
You want to
Yeah.
keep the right one, but you don't want to keep
and
the wrong
and,
one.
and we're all different, right, in the relationship. And who's the fighter cock? Are you the fighter cock or is Michelle the fighter cock? Like
Right.
for me, I have a very bad temper.
Yeah.
So if I say it's over, it's over.
Yeah.
This has always been me, right?
Yeah.
And I'm trying to check myself. I'm trying to,
Not
I'm trying
be
to
like that.
Yeah, not be like that. Just be a bit more understanding. Just
3 things.
peace in the
Let's
Middle
look at-
East, I say.
Peace in the Middle East.
3 things, Dr. Jerry.
Before he gets too animated and passionate.
Yeah, rein him in.
Yeah, 3 C's: communication, compromise, and commitment. So if I can tweak or if I can change these words, if you
Sacrifice.
commit me, rather than sacrifice, is a compromise.
Commitment, yeah.
A compromise is an agreement between 2 parties. When we keep score, it's not an agreement between 2 parties. It is, I do this on my own accord, you do that on your own accord, and then I expect you to appreciate what I have done. But we have never come together to have an agreement that this is what we want in our space as a unit.
Yeah, because you spoke about it. And you both agreed that this is the best way forward. And I'm sure you and Michelle had a conversation
No.
about her giving up her career. No?
No, that was entirely Michelle's decision.
Decision, but you did.
I need to do this for my family.
But
It
she
was-
didn't speak to you about it at all before that?
No. It was her decision, and I supported that decision.
Does that make
But
it a
there was-
sacrifice,
There was no. It's
Dr. Jerry?
But-
It's not a compromise anymore, is it?
semantics.
My mom was like that as well. she gave up her career.
Yeah.
And then after that, lived to regret it.
Yeah.
You see?
Women,
Yeah.
people
You
do
see?
regret
You know
things
what I
like
mean?
that. Yeah.
FD, how did Melissa tell you?
Michelle.
Michelle.
Oh, Michelle.
There.
Okay. It's all right. She's asleep.
Okay, Melissa, Michelle, same thing.
Both start with M.
It's okay. Don't worry.
In fact, to protect her identity, why don't we just refer to her as Melissa?
No, okay.
Protect her identity.
How did Michelle what?
No. My apologies, Michelle. What did Michelle tell you when she decided to quit her job?
It was nothing. It was something that just happened. She quit a job because we had a kid, and she needed to raise the child. And then we had another kid, and we the children came, and she willingly took on the role as I went out to work. She allowed. My words are wrong.
Yeah.
She
Gave you the freedom.
by taking over that bringing up of the children and running the house. She gave me the opportunity to allow my career to grow. So I had the freedom to allow my career to grow, and she took over
The house and
Yeah.
everything else.
the family, so to speak.
It's great. Lucky kids.
Yeah,
You know, to have
Lucky
their
kids.
mom with them
Lucky
all the
you.
time.
Lucky husband,
Did
lucky
you,
kids.
Had she ever said, I mean, not turned around and said, I don't want to use turned around because that sounds kind of like revengeful. Has she ever told you that she wished she had carried on with a career?
There have been times in her life where we've spoken about it, and you could see there's a
Slight regret?
maybe slight, yeah, yeah. There might
Because
be.
it's not wrong to regret.
No, it's not wrong.
Decisions
to regret it.
at all.
It's not wrong to.
And also, I mean, when you're in a relationship like that, when you're in a marriage, you kind of like weigh.
Compromise.
Yeah, like, okay, what am I doing? If I were to quit my career right now, is it going to be a terrible strain on the family? You think about things like that.
Yes.
Or should I just, or can I afford to quit my job and take care of the family? That kind of thing.
Or do
But I'm
both.
saying,
yeah.
if Michelle, let's say, was CEO of Singtel or something like that, it would be a different
It
story.
would be a
altogether.
different story
You know what I mean?
completely.
Then you will be the house husband.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it depends.
On who's earning more and
Exactly.
whether one breadwinner
I
of the
think so.
family is enough.
It's enough.
Dr. Jerry?
Five different areas that we oftentimes, or the couple oftentimes looks into, right? So financial being one major part. Who to earn who is the primary breadwinner, or where do we put our money? So that's the financial part. And of course, there are other questions surrounding the financial part. Where do we invest and things like that? Then the other aspect of our children. Do we have children? And what who's to do which part of parenting? The divide and conquer, right? So if you do choose to have, and then what do we do with the children? The other one where we need to look at would be our different styles, or rather our traits, the strength and weakness of each person. Because when you are a couple, you look at each other's strengths and limitation and support each other, because no one is perfect. Okay, and the fourth one would be, what do we do with the larger kampong? Do we want the extended family to be part of our unit or not part of our unit? So in many couples, this becomes a big issue also. So that also needs to be discussed. How close or how far away? And interestingly, one thing that oftentimes gets to the couple is religion. So that needs to be spoken about. Also, the spirituality part. 5 different areas.
Okay, in a while we'll go back on
So much
the
work
radio.
to do
Yeah,
just to stay
relationships,
with
right?
one
It's
person.
so hard.
Just dealing
It's a
once.
lot of hard work. Lot of hard work.
Yeah.
I've always looked at relationships as it's almost, it sounds very cold, but it's like a business.
Yeah.
You work at it all the time.
Transactions happen.
Yeah.
You work at it all the time. There's never a time when you're not working on your. You know, I was saying while we were on the Big Show TV that I look at the relationship as almost like a business. You need to work at it, and you need to work at it all the time, all the time, because you're transacting deals all the time.
Yeah. You need to keep on paying your wife.
I don't consider it paying, but
You
I know.
mentioned
Give
the
her
word
an
business.
allowance.
But
Yeah.
You mentioned the word business.
it is. To me, I look at it as a business. So you're
Paying is
continuously
correct, allowance.
You're
Yeah.
continuously working at it, and the minute you stop working at it, cracks are going to develop. I feel.
I think any relationship requires us to work on it.
Yes.
It's just
Yeah.
that this couplehood is such a more intimate sort of relationship, and you're with the person 24/7, and you have so many opportunities to work on it. Do we actually use those opportunities?
You know, Dr. Jerry, they say familiarity breeds contempt, right? Is that what it is when couples are together for so long, or because they're together 24/7, they tend not to be as nice to each other as they are to friends, strangers. You know what I mean? I've seen some couples
Some, yeah.
speak to each other in, rough tones or slightly less than friendly tones. But then when it comes to their friends and all that, they're like, "Hey, babe, how are you?" You know,
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Shouldn't it also be like, "Hey, darling, how are you today? You know, what's going on?" and this and that. I feel that people need to be nicer to each other, especially the people that are close to them.
Yeah, you're not wrong, and it made me remember about like how grandparents and parents used to advise the children, do not do not cohabitate with someone before marriage. Don't stay with someone before marriage. Stay with them after you get married. And no one seems to be listening nowadays, but it holds so much truth, because I have friends who have arranged marriage and they don't have much time to get to know each other. But these marriages have sustained for decades. So I asked them, how did your marriage work? And they say, because we've never had the dating process, after marriage, the dating starts. And it becomes so beautiful after that, because you're constantly discovering about each other. And I think the modern couple forgets that you need to continue to discover each other. Like the very first thing, Angel, what you said, right? People change. But do we pause and do we continue to discover the spouse in the 20s is different in their 30s and definitely different in their 40s? What happens in the 50s and 60s? We don't know. We miss an entire chunk. And then, these older couples look at each other and go, I don't know you anymore. I don't think I want to spend effort to try and get to know you.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel not cohabitating before a marriage can also be, on the flip side, very damaging. Because you don't actually know the person who you're going to move in with. And all of a sudden you marry this person, you're legally bound. And what if you really don't like each other and end up killing each other? Theoretically.
Are there enough positive attributes in the person that you've met? Do you trust yourself enough for you to compromise and continue with the commitment?
But then arranged marriages, you don't get that chance. Do you know what I mean? If you're talking about arranged marriages in the typical traditional sense, where you have to marry this person that we've paired you up with, you don't have the choice of saying no.
You don't have the choice of saying no. I agree with that. But I don't know whether there are stats. I would like to know how many of these arranged marriages actually end up in divorce.
No.
I have,
Yeah, no,
I
that's
have a
true.
lot.
Less.
Fewer, actually.
Yeah,
Fewer.
fewer.
I have a lot of friends
Yeah,
who
no,
are
I
arranged
agree.
marriages,
Yeah.
Fewer.
and they are so happy.
Yes.
No, I agree. I agree.
Because they cook and clean for the husband, no?
Who is they?
And
No,
got a lot
I
of
mean, these
money
arranged
involved.
marriages
you
is
said,
very traditional.
but you said they cook and clean for the husband.
the
They-
wives,
Oh,
huh?
okay. You didn't mention the wives.
No, the wives. Yeah. So it's a very traditional
Yeah.
arrangement. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The man works.
subservient wife.
The wife stays at home and looks after the. Hey, that's your wife.
No, my wife is far from subservient. Thank you.
Okay.
I think she's waking up right about now.
No. I seriously, I don't think I could have lived through this marriage if Michelle was that subservient wife. I cannot.
Right?
No,
You need someone with
needs strength.
intelligence
She
and
needs
strength,
intelligence.
yeah.
She
She
needs
needs
a
a
mind
voice.
of her own.
Yeah.
You know,
I might love
otherwise-
it, actually.
Otherwise, cannot.
The
I couldn't.
subservient
I
one,
couldn't.
or-
You're good that
I
your lucky Jean is also still asleep. To be throwing a frying pan at you as you
Yeah,
walk through the
she's
door.
very fierce. No, she's very fierce.
I can tell.
I mean, these days I have no say whatsoever.
You're the subservient
First 5 years
husband.
were wonderful. I would
Dating
come
them.
home to a policewoman at home, you know.
Policewoman?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
These days, when I ask her to put on the policewoman outfit, the answer is no. A policewoman, nurse, French maid.
All collecting dust in
Yeah.
French maid with
It's
the
in,
dust.
it's in them cupboard now.
Did we need to know that?
Too much information.
Anyways.
All
We're on radio.
We're on radio.
You're on the radio.
I told you.
You need to remind me about these things.
Trying
Okay,
to.
okay. Let's continue to talk to Jerry on the Big Show TV. In the meantime, here's Wet, Wet, Wet. Love is all around.
Out of our heads.
What
Absolutely.
you're thinking?
Jerry, there is a comment on our Facebook page, and I just want to ask you: love conquers all. How?
Well,
If you're in love,
Love conquers
Yeah,
all.
you know, so many people say it, right?
You know why they
Only
say it,
love
right? Because love
conquers
is
all.
blind.
Only during the first 5 years.
Yep.
Love conquers all.
but what about love? You see, we cannot live on love and fresh air. We can't do that. So you need to define what love is, right? And that's what we are attempting to do, to break down, to figure out. There's no one true answer. I mean, FD, you've already illustrated for us. Whilst I have a very theoretical concept, yours is a different one. It's somewhere there, but you know, it may be different for different couples.
Yeah.
So it's not a one size fit all. But the thing is for the couple to actually figure out each other and have fun. I think many couples forget to have fun. So we were talking about arranged marriages, right? And they enjoy their time together. Glenn clearly enjoys his first 5 years, still enjoying whatever that was said on the air. Yeah, but the key
I'll
is
try
that-
again today. I'll go home and I'll try again.
you go find those outfits first.
Oh,
Lay
I
them
know
all
where
out.
they are.
He's been eyeing them.
She's gonna look at you and roll her eyes.
I just want to
bet
check
you.
and see whether they're still there. You know what I mean?
She might have chucked
Now,
them
why
out,
is the
right?
answer no all the time? You know, maybe she threw the outfits away. Anyway, sorry.
Maybe she got
Please carry
a
on.
new outfit.
Ah.
Ooh, what is it?
Maybe.
Pocahontas?
What do we do with Glenn?
No, but you know, Jerry, as much as we laugh and we giggle, I firmly believe that playing those games for a lot of couples is important.
Yes, absolutely. It's part of having fun.
It is
Yeah,
important.
so enjoyable.
It is.
And these are what I'm just wondering, what happened?
She's saying, I grew up. What about you?
No, it's not about growing up or,
No,
or
it's
being
not.
immature
It's not.
at all. You'd be
It's not.
surprised the kind of things that go on behind closed doors.
Yeah.
No, No, but it is true. Go have fun, go seek something new, go enjoy different things. You don't have to do it like Glenn, but you can do it differently. Find a new. I want to say activity, but I'll be very careful now. Find a new hobby,
Hobby,
interest.
hobby.
Also, you got to tread very carefully on this.
Right now, oh no.
Yeah, dressing up can be a hobby.
It's a workout. You gotta keep moving.
Okay, Dr. Jerry, let's try and veer away from this. How about children?
Run.
When
You're trying very hard, but yeah. That was another area that I was also, a bit upset with when I see, or very sad for some children because sometimes we deal with couples who are divorcing or have divorced, and the story is that, oh, I actually had a child, so that he would stay, or I wanted the child so that my partner would stay. But then they haven't worked on the fundamental issues yet, and then the child comes along, which becomes a big distractor and becomes that pinpoint, or the sick child, where the child becomes the problem, and then it becomes a point of contention, and the couple goes, we need to divorce eventually.
The same can be said, though, of people who stay together because of the children. So we're not going to get divorced because we've got kids. Either way, the child is the victim.
yeah.
So they do stay together with the children. We've heard of cases where the family stays together. So they appear as a unit, they function as a unit, but the couple is no longer functioning anymore. Yeah. So then my question, as a psychologist for the children, would be, what do the children learn from it? They learn that, yes, we need to be committed, but how do I make sense of a relationship?
Yeah. Yeah, because
Yeah.
they're going to see their parents so unhappy, and unhappy parents also breed unhappy children.
It brings a whole host of other things. So when we look at values and we say, okay, so earlier I talked about like the money, the strength and weakness, clearly they've worked it to their advantage. But in terms of imparting values to the children, I suppose for each set of parents, they have their own ideas, what they want to impart to their children. But it cannot be that we have the children in order to stay together. I don't think that is a good thing.
Or stay together because
children,
of the
yeah.
children.
Well, when
They're
the child
both-
is already there, then it's up for discussion. What I'm saying is sometimes either party entraps the other
Yeah.
into that union with a child.
Yeah.
Now, that part is where I feel a little bit strongly against.
Entrapment, almost.
Okay.
Right.
I
Or
have.
parents stick together for your children until they turn 21, and then
Yeah, but still,
That
I mean,
also depends.
yeah, there are a lot of marriages that are very unhappy now
Of course.
because of children, and then the children become, they become the point of being at fault. You know what I mean? I stayed because of you.
Yeah.
You know what I
And
mean?
the children
and
feel
parents
guilty.
parents do turn around and tell their children that I stayed in an unhappy marriage for X amount of years because of you.
But
you know,
you're
and I
supposed to be in the marriage
sacrificed
for
so much.
better or worse, right?
Jerry?
I mean,
I don't know. So, for better or worse, in sickness and in health, right? Yeah. So if we stretch it, then that may be why the couple stay together. So they honor that part of
Vow.
the commitment. Yeah. But we don't know how they are surviving or how they feel about their at least half their lives.
Yeah.
Jerry, what do you then say to couples? And we hear this a lot these days. We're not in love anymore, but we can't afford to get divorced.
oh yeah, there's a lot of that
There's
now.
a lot of it, huh? A lot of
Yeah.
it. What do they do? I just can't afford to get divorced.
Then can you afford to reignite something or relearn about you, the person that is sleeping next to you or staying in the same space? Can we then put in some effort to then learn about the other person?
Because at some point they were in love, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it was,
At some point.
at some point, why were they together? Because they saw some great in each other.
Yeah, but people change and they don't change back.
Yeah, that's
No,
true.
that is-
Actually,
that
is
Sean,
true
Sean
as
is
well.
a very good point.
No, that is
Yeah.
true.
It's
yeah.
very hard, once it goes wayward.
Yeah.
You know,
And then
Yeah.
to try and remember those
Exactly.
moments. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have to say this, right? People change, but and Sean said, don't change back. But I would say they don't change bad. And in actual fact, many of them are not bad. They are just not the person that they were 20 years ago. But if we don't look at them with kindness, then the person just looks nasty, disgusting.
Yeah.
10 seconds.
Interesting. That's very interesting.
Tough subject.
Okay.
It is. It is.
By one traffic. We'll do on air.
And I have a question for
Oh.
all of you. It's a
Okay.
fun question. I don't know. I think it's a very real question for some people. Yeah. Do you track your spouses?
What? Huh? What do you mean by track?
Like with air tag, is it?
Is it AirTag? Oh, I must. The iPhone one, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's also software you can put on the phone.
Yeah.
On the car.
There's also WhatsApp location tracking as well.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what do you mean by track? Like that?
Track locations. Yeah.
No.
Do you track?
Just get a private investigator.
More
With their
expensive.
knowledge or without their knowledge?
Either with no with.
With
Would
their
you?
knowledge.
With then you like kind of know
What's the
where
point?
they are
Yeah,
all the
you
time.
know,
what?
you know where the person is. Unless what she's saying is there an
Would
element
you
of distrust?
Permit yourself to be tracked, and would you track your spouse?
Never.
Why?
Never.
No, but I've shared my location before with my husband to let him know how far away I was from getting
Yeah.
home. Something like that, yes. Like I'm in a Grab and I'll be like, I'm be home for dinner soon or whatever, you know, and then something needs to be popped into the oven or the microwave or whatever it is. So it's nice and hot when I get home. Something like that, sure.
No, I won't do it. I
But
won't
not
do it.
track
Not
like a full day kind of tracking.
Yeah.
Never.
She can do whatever she wants. I trust her completely.
Yeah, that-
Yeah, because to me it's trust.
It's
The minute
trust.
you track, you don't trust.
But why do you ask that, Dr. Jerry?
I wanted you to say the word trust. I think it's very important for any couple to have trust for each other. Yeah, whether you have an app or whether you don't have an app, I think it is important. And when, you start hiding things, that's when doubt starts to happen in the couple. Yeah, so I was wanting all of you to draw that out. The word trust.
Okay. So if you're listening in and you're constantly being tracked, you know what's going on. I feel like we're going to create so much trouble today.
But what if one party betrays that trust? What happens then?
Yes, and that's when a lot of tracking then happens, right? And then the party, that is being tracked gets very angry and annoyed. That's what we oftentimes see.
Yeah. And people don't forget these things easily, you see.
No, yeah.
No.
I mean, all you need is just to betray your partner's trust once.
Yeah,
And,
100%.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Forever
it's hard.
triggered.
Because once it can be done, it can be done again.
How, Jerry? How do we erase, the memory of
broken
these
promise?
betrayals?
Lobotomy.
That would be a discussion for another day, how to mend relationships. But today we're going to go on your topic, which is fun, your theme rather, which is fun. And with in my team, I have a senior counselor, and she came up with 5 tips for the couples. And the first one is schedule regular days or nights. The best ones are the ones that are impromptu. You can do a little quickie. It doesn't matter. I don't care what you
Oh,
Oh, on the air, no,
quickie where?
Are you talking about
sorry.
quickie? Quickie.
quick lunch.
Oh,
Because quickies work.
Yeah, yeah. In a police uniform.
On radio, by the way.
Oh
She's blushing.
Afternoon
Okay,
delight.
She's banning us.
she's banning Dr. Jerry.
Oh dear.
Now we know what.
When she mentioned quickie, I was like, whoa,
That's why all of us
Jerry.
enjoyed some afternoon delight.
That's not what you said. You cannot retract that. No. It's like toothpaste. Once you squeeze it out, you can't put it back.
Okay, you know what? Well, Jerry, you know what? Because we want to bring up a few other things, you know,
Raunchy?
and I think it's best for us to talk about this on the Big Show TV.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna be talking about sex
Oh, yay.
because I think that's very important.
It is in sustaining a relationship.
Yeah, and
absolutely.
most relationships fail because that area has gone limp.
For want of a better word.
Okay, so here's Firehouse. I live my life for you on what if
We get into this, Jerry. So many people on our Facebook are saying, Jerry said quickie.
All right,
Endorsed.
Jerry, let's talk about sex, baby.
Baby.
Let's talk about
Because, you know, everyone looks in all these other areas, you know, we want to mend the relationship. It's not working out already. But don't you think, you know, the main reason is that the intimacy is gone.
Yeah.
And usually when that happens, that's when the
Everything
relationship
breaks down.
starts to break down.
Yeah, because you watch all these movies, and how true is it, Dr. Jerry, that psychologists will ask, how are things in the bedroom?
Yes, we do. And we ask, you know, how intimate you are, how many times do
Okay.
you have sex. Yes, we do ask that.
And it's important.
It is. And you know what? Let's go with the theme today. And for everybody on air, I said quickie, but I meant a quick lunch.
Oh, I see.
Ah,
That's the code word.
yeah.
But,
That's also the safe
you
way.
know, the five tips that Charmaine gave me yesterday. She says, I know you're going to throw a different spin on it. And Glenn already helped me to throw a different spin on it. So let's talk about sex. And I'm going to use the 5 tips, okay? 1, schedule regular. I don't care what regular it is.
Okay.
2,
Quickies.
try something new.
Police uniform.
A swing.
Glenn is
Dress
gonna
up. A
try
swing.
A new, sorry?
A swing.
Well, we know what kind of partners I've got.
Let Jerry finish. Okay, let Jerry
Sorry,
finish.
sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead, Jerry.
So yes, you can try anything, a swing, a new outfit. I don't care what you try. 3rd one, spend time on your own doing something you enjoy.
You're the one
You're the
laughing.
one.
You're laughing.
I cannot keep a straight face. 4, listen to each other.
Okay.
5, show appreciation in whatever way or form. Yeah, so those are the 5 tips. It doesn't have to be confined to the bedroom, but if it helps you to remember better, you can remember it that way, but you can definitely take it out of the bedroom.
Ooh, public places.
Yeah.
And all 5 can fit within a quickie as well.
She's like, you're not listening.
Jerry, you've been on the show so many years, you still don't know us, is it?
Shalini is sitting in the corner shaking her head. She's like, these people.
No, she's shaking her head going, am I going to be like this when I grow up?
He's taking notes.
Jerry, I want to ask you a very serious question. Couple has a problem. They want to go and see you. But only one is willing. Is it of any use then?
Well, sometimes one person needs to deal with some of their own personal issue. It could be their own unresolved issue, their own trauma. We can definitely work on that. But if it's a couple issue, we invite both to come in, you know, so they can start working as a unit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes 2 hands to clap.
Yeah,
It
because
does.
I can't see the point of one person going and the other not being there. Because as a psychologist, you need to hear both sides of the story.
Because whenever they bring in, is they glorify themselves, and the other person just looks really, really bad.
Yeah.
Okay, stand by.
Yeah.
We're going back on the radio.
For our last talk set with the cap.
Good morning, Jerry, and we're talking about love. I want to know what love is. I want you to show me. I want to feel what love is. I know you can
That
show
sounds like
me.
a song, actually.
It is.
It
Oh,
is
it's a
The song we
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
played.
Oh, did we just play that song?
Yes.
We did.
Foreigner.
No?
No?
Wasn't it
That
Firehouse?
was
No, that
Firehouse.
was I Live My Life for
Oh,
You.
about the
This
same
is
song.
I want to know what love is.
Okay.
Which is what we've been talking about. Do we really know what love is? Right?
We can practice loving each other. That's what love is.
And in the words of
Wow, I
Simon
love that.
Climie and Rob Fisher, love changes everything, doesn't it?
It changes how you manage your relationship with the person. It changes how you deal with things and how you approach things. It changes your own expectation and what you want from each other. It changes a lot of things.
And love doesn't always change for the better.
Yeah.
No, that
It
is
can
true.
change a person for the worst.
Yeah.
That's right.
You become jealous. You become possessive.
You're
you
driven
become-
to do
oh.
You end
things
up
that-
lying.
Yeah.
In the words of
Should
Dolly
love-
Parton, I will always love you. No.
No matter what.
No, but I'm gonna end with the a little quote from an American journalist. How do I pronounce her name? Mignon McCallan, and she
Oh,
says,
yes, please.
She says a successful marriage requires falling in love many times, always with the same person.
Oh,
Nice.
That's a nice
That's
one.
really nice, Jerry.
So sweet.
It's very nice.
one.
let's end
That's
it
why
right
people
there.
get married.
Let's end it right there.
Okay.
It was a
Thank
sweet
you.
note.
Yes, thank you, Angel.